world finally opening back up. I don't know about y'all, but Southeast Asia is top of my list that we are heading back to soon, and Thailand in particular is one of my absolute favorite places to live in Southeast Asia. So in this video, I'm gonna be talking all about what you need to know before moving to Thailand and how to kind of decide if moving to Thailand is gonna be right for you. Hello, if you're new here, my name is Amanda Kolbye and I'm a 7-figure entrepreneur and online educator that helps service-based entrepreneurs start and scale their online businesses using social media. So on this channel, you're gonna find all things marketing, sales, everything like business related, as well as digital nomad content, because I've also been traveling the world for like 3.5 years now, which is crazy to think. And you may notice that if you watch any of my other YouTube videos, this background is very different, probably not ideal, but that's because I'm coming to you from Cusco, Peru. We do what we can with whatever room and setting we're in. So don't forget to like and subscribe so we can keep creating all this content for you, and turn on that bell to make sure you get all the notifications. With that, let's dive in. Okay, so first I want to just be very straightforward. Is Thailand the right place for you to live? We're gonna kind of list out here yeses and nos as far as what is gonna be right for you. So starting with some of the yeses over here, a big reason why Thailand would be right for you is if you like heat. It's really freaking hot all the time. Another reason is if one of your big priorities is low cost of living. Out of all the places we've lived all over Europe, South America, North America, Asia, Thailand is absolutely one of the cheapest cost of living, but still having like the best quality of life. So that's gonna be a huge pro for a reason you might wanna live there. Food, Thai food is just one of my favorite foods in the whole world, and like everything that you can get in all the restaurants and street food and all that stuff is just top notch. So if you are looking for like a good cuisine in somewhere you're living, Thailand is for sure it. And then lastly, Thailand's gonna be a great choice if you're just looking for a variety. So even though the weather in general is definitely very hot, Thailand also has a very big variety of like mountains and terrain. Mountains, it has a big city, Bangkok, which is super great. It obviously has all the Thai islands, which are just absolutely gorgeous. So all within the same country, you can go do quite a lot, and it's very, very easy to travel around. The reasons why Thailand might not be a good fit for you. So one is it definitely can be a little bit rough around the edges. While Bangkok is definitely a super nice modern city, a lot of the other places you may end up living or traveling in Thailand again, may not be super polished or well built up. That's never been a problem for us, but if that's something you're looking for, it's probably not gonna be the best fit. Another con would be English. So if you're looking for a country that's everyone speaks English, that might not be the case. We've found that it's not that difficult to get around, especially if you're in some of the bigger areas like Chiang Mai or Bangkok. You can typically find a lot of people that will help you, or a menu with some English on it or whatnot. We try to learn some basic Thai phrases, just like numbers, bargaining, ordering food, taxis, things like that have been really, really helpful. Pro or con, I don't necessarily see that as a con. You may. Another thing to be aware of is you do have to be willing and open to adjust to just like cultural norms and the laws there. For example, there's a lot of temples and things like that you may be going into or exploring in Thailand, and you need to be willing to adjust to those cultural norms. Same thing with the laws. They have some really strict laws there. So that's really just like a fact for every single country you're going to, but especially if you're coming from a Western country, a lot of this may be very different than you're used to. So just something to consider. And then probably the biggest thing to consider is time zone. So this really honestly goes for all of Southeast Asia. If you're coming from a Western country, especially coming from America, it is like literally opposite time zones. So depending on what your job is or why you're moving over there, that can definitely cause some issues. Everywhere that I live, I do 2 different videos. I do a cost of living and a day in the life. So you can check out those playlists. And then in general, we also have some fun travel vlogs that we've done throughout Thailand. Definitely check out the links below. And up here, we have so many Thailand videos for you guys and other travel videos about what is it like to live in other countries, and also what is the cost of living. Next up, let's talk about visas. So for visas, and by the way, this is not official advice, I recommend that you do your own research for your own citizenship, your own country. The rules change all the time. This is simply sharing what has worked for us and many others. But for visas, a lot of people end up staying in Thailand and spending an extended amount of time there just on a tourist visa. Technically, you are not allowed to work on this visa, so you need to be careful about that and choose the right option for you. But with a tourist visa in Thailand, you can end up staying up to 90 days. If you apply ahead of time, which is what you're gonna need to do to get the full 90 days at once, once. You'll need to apply ahead of time for the 60-day tourist visa, and then you can go in person and extend at one of the immigration offices to get your additional 30 days. After that point, you'll have to leave unless you have a different visa. Some other ways you may be able to get a visa for living in Thailand would be Thai language classes or Thai Muay Thai classes. So if you're signed up for those and you are actively, genuinely like training and taking all of those, there are certain special visas that can be offered for that. Next question is money. So if you are moving to Thailand or considering moving to Thailand, how much money should you save or kind of just be prepared for spending? So this is obviously going to vary a lot depending on if you're someone who like isn't working at all right now and is just like trying to save your money so that you can go travel for a couple months, or if you're more of a digital nomad who's working online, then obviously you have some sort of an income coming in. So what I'll tell you more so is just what the cost of living is. And for a more extensive video on this, I have a complete breakdown. We've lived in Thailand for at least like 6 months total, off and on. So you can watch this video here for a total cost of living in Chiang Mai, Thailand. In general, to cut to the chase, I would recommend having a minimum of $500 to $800 US dollars per person for living in Thailand. You can probably live a little bit cheaper than that. You can definitely spend more than that. But when we had first moved to Thailand, we didn't have businesses and we were on a tight budget and we were able to live within that time frame very easily, like still getting coffees all the time, still getting massages all the time. So it's very, very affordable. So getting to Thailand and finding your flight there, again, this is gonna vary so much depending on where in the world you are coming from. But what I did wanna tell you with this is we have a lot of really good kind of flight, they're not hacks really, I don't like that word, but flight finding tips to help you travel all around the world and find the best of routes and prices possible. So definitely check out this video here where I talk all about some of my top flight finding tips. But essentially for us, if we're flying from kind of the western side of the world, we typically fly into like Hong Kong, or we'll fly into Qatar. Sometimes we'll fly into Bangkok, but we pick basically just one of the biggest cities to get in. And once you're in the vicinity of like East or Southeast Asia, it's very, very easy and very cheap to find a direct flight then to wherever in Thailand you're actually going to be staying. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the best places to live in Thailand. And I've lived in almost all of these, so I definitely have some experience here. So I would kind of categorize things in 3 areas. Bangkok, northern Thailand, and then like the islands in southern Thailand are going to be the 3 areas you're looking at. So probably I would say the top areas that a lot of digital nomads live in are going to be Chiang Mai, Bangkok, and then the islands kind of vary, but there's definitely some good options in like co-working spaces in Phuket, Koh Phangan, which is a place we've spent a lot of time, Koh Samui, which is a little bit more built up and has like malls and an actual airport and some things like that. And then there's definitely a couple other islands and good spots that you can look into in southern Thailand, but those would probably be like my top and my favorite places to kind of settle down and hang out for a couple months. Before we dive into accommodation, I want to talk a little bit about transportation, because that's always a big question I get if you're considering living in Thailand, is how are you going to like really get around? In Bangkok, one of the things I was super surprised just at how like modern and efficient Bangkok was. Obviously there's better areas than others, but in general, like Bangkok has super nice like malls and buildings and really great public transportation. Granted, I am American, so I'm coming from like basically nothing, but it's super easy just to use like taxis and public transportation in Bangkok. I personally ride motorbikes a lot in different countries, and I wouldn't really feel super comfortable riding one in Bangkok, so you can make that decision for yourself. In Chiang Mai, they have songtaos, which you can see what those look like here. They're like these little red trucks, and they're really, really easy. They go all over the city. They come super, super often. They're very, very cheap, normally around like 30 baht for a ride wherever you want to go. You can also rent a motorbike, but I have found that compared to some of the other countries we've lived in, they are a little bit more strict about actually having a motorbike license or having like police checkpoints to check your driver's license. So we normally don't rent scooters in Chiang Mai or Bangkok either, and we normally just either walk or take the songtaos. Now on the islands, that's a little bit different. They're, from the most part, what I've seen, except maybe in Phuket, not really public transportation at all or really any other options. So pretty much your only option is going to be renting a motorbike. Now with that being said, if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't know how to ride a motorbike, please, please, please do not do that. They can be really dangerous. I am one of those people that is like always wear a helmet. I've seen way too many accidents, especially in Bali, people coming out with like road rash and all that stuff. So definitely please be careful. Okay, so now that you know kind of all the different areas that you can can live in Thailand, let's talk about how do you actually find a place to live. So this is super interesting. In every country that we go to, the process is really different. But in Thailand, what we found for the most part was we would get like an Airbnb or a hotel for 1 or 2 days, just like once we arrived, so that we, you know, have a place to actually sleep. And then for the most part in both Bangkok and Chiang Mai, we looked up ahead of time or joined some expat Facebook groups and looked up some different apartment buildings that looked of interest or that other people recommended, so that we at least have the names of them. And then for the most part, we really just kind of showed up and walked around and asked for tours, asked what was available, and then we were able to pretty much sign within a day or two for an apartment that we wanted. Your other option is Airbnb, but to be honest, as most of you probably know, Airbnb prices are crazy inflated. So my recommendation for a lot of Airbnb stuff is like maybe rent it for a couple days to see if it's available, but then maybe work with the owner to see if they have other options available that are outside of Airbnb. Okay, so last couple things that I want to go over with you guys are food, a couple of just general tips that you need to know, and travel insurance. But before we dive into all of that, if you are someone watching this who doesn't currently maybe have your own business or work online, and you want to be able to live in these places for multiple months at a time and be able to travel nonstop, very similarly to what I do, we have 2 signature programs that really help you do that. One of them is called Skills Mastery Academy, and it actually teaches you skills as a service provider. So things like becoming a YouTube editor, becoming a podcast manager, becoming a ads or funnels expert. We have a wide plethora of skills, and there is nothing else like this. It specifically teaches service-based entrepreneurs everything you need to know to start getting clients and making money. On the other side, we have a business building program. So that one teaches you skills. This one teaches you business. It's called Laptop Lifestyle Bootcamp. It has been around for years. We've helped hundreds and hundreds of students build 6 and multi-6-figure businesses. So you can check out the links below for some of those. But if you are looking to be able to actually fund this type of lifestyle, you're gonna need both of these programs. And with that being said, let's chat food. Like my literal favorite thing about Thailand, except also the people. People are so freaking nice, you guys. So food in Thailand, if you're living there, honestly, it's so freaking cheap. You're probably just gonna eat out most of the time. We never get tired of Thai food. Maybe you will. There's definitely gonna be like some little options depending on where you're living, like a pizza place or a burger place, etc. But in general, we eat Thai food most of the time that we're there, and it's super cheap. Depending on where you are, and if you're eating at more of kind of like a little local spot or whatnot, you can find meals for like 30 baht, 40 baht, 60 baht. Of course, it can go up from there. So it's super, super affordable. For us, when we lived in Chiang Mai, there was also a great grocery store called Rimping, which was in Maya Mall. If you're specifically looking at Chiang Mai, and obviously there's grocery stores in all the other places. And so we would, you know, get kind of groceries for lunch, dinner, snacks, certain things like that. The only other thing you have to be aware of is the water, because you can't drink the tap water there. So as you can see here, we had water filling stations and like water filling buckets that we would continually refill and be able to supply our water. Okay, and then as far as like travel and health type of stuff, for us, we have really liked using travel insurance. I know a lot of people like mention this because they're affiliates of it, but like we've actually enjoyed using them and submitted claims and they've gotten back. So I'm totally recommending this out of genuine necessity. We use Safety Wing. We've also used World Nomads before too. Honestly, I shouldn't probably promote both at the same time, but I think they're both great. We had some incidences happen. We're able to report certain things to them and it was all paid for and covered. So I do think that's going to be really important for you while traveling. The other thing that I'll mention about Thailand specifically is my partner and I have both been to like some hospitals and doctors throughout our time in Thailand for various things. And there have been some of the nicest hospitals that I've ever been to like in the world in Thailand. So anyways, that is a huge pro, is that's not always necessarily a given in every country that you're traveling through. Okay, and let's wrap it up with the most important summary of things that you need to know if you're moving to Thailand. One of them, cash is king. In a lot of countries, you're able to use your credit card. Thailand is one of those where we almost never use our credit card. So just kind of be prepared for that. Second thing, street food is amazing. It is life. Like I have so many videos of all the different food that we've eaten, but you need to eat the street food. It is just freaking phenomenal. Use metered taxis. So if you are taking taxis around, it's very, very common for them to inflate their prices and try and kind of rip off tourists a little bit. I think that's pretty common in a lot of countries. So the big thing you just kind of need to look out for is actually them using the meter, asking them to use the meter and turning it on. The other kind of side note of that is if you're going to be spending time in Thailand extensively, it is going to be really helpful to learn some basic phrases, whether that's like numbers kind of for bartering, ordering food, and more of like just getting around transportation. I promise you it's going to go a long ways. Get used to Thai time. And what I mean by this is, I wish I had a picture of this, but like there was a sign we saw in one restaurant that literally said, "These are our hours, but we will be open whenever we're open. And I was like, okay, so they're not your hours then? Like you basically don't have any hours, but like that's super, super normal. Things are open late, things are just sometimes randomly closed. Doesn't really matter what it says online or on their sign or whatever it is. So kind of just get used to that, and the more you go with the flow, the better. Next is get Thai massages. They are very, very different than like Western type massages, so don't expect the same, but they are amazing and very, very affordable. We literally get one every single week when we're living there. Last thing is, in Thailand, spicy means spicy. So I don't know about y'all, I love spicy food. I get my ass kicked with Thai food and I love it. And I also have gotten into so many bad situations where I try and order spicy because I like am prideful about it, and then I'm literally like dying, sweating. So anyways, spicy means spicy, just be aware. All right, so that's pretty much everything that you genuinely need to know about moving to Thailand. If you're considering moving to Thailand, I'm sure you're very adventurous in the first place. It is an absolutely beautiful, amazing country. The people, the food, like everything. As you can tell, I'm obsessed with it. It's one of my favorite places to live and travel as a digital nomad. If you are looking to get your own business up and running or start scaling it and build some additional skills, we have links below for you guys on Skills Mastery Academy and Laptop Lifestyle Bootcamp. So thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to see where you guys are headed in Thailand. Definitely comment below and let me know if this video was helpful. And if you are someone moving to Thailand, I'd love to connect with you and kind of just see where you end up. And don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on that bell for the notifications. We create new videos for you guys. It's a whole mix of like this digital nomad stuff and business stuff as well every single week. Thank you, and I will see you guys in the next video.